Good enough? The sound delivers okay?
I think I can hear well.
Okay, shall I start?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much for playing for me. Yeah, this is really pleasure. When Q asked me to give a master class, I was very glad because I know the people are here is really more the music lovers, and I could tell that you really love this piece, and I really enjoyed your playing. For me, master class is usually Q. Is my voice okay? Because I keep hearing some echoes.
Yeah, me too. Somehow I'm hearing echo as well. And I
What's
don't
going
know.
on? I hear what I'm saying. I think it's better. I mean,
Yes, it's a little bit better.
a little better. Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see. Anyway, the for me, it's master class is a little different than teaching individual lesson because I don't get to see you again. So one of your advantages get to perform in front of people, which is a great experience if you can enjoy it. And another one is that I give you something that you can take it with you, and hopefully that develops. It's like giving you a little seed, so you can plant it. If you can discard it, it's okay too. So and for the audience, other people, if they can also learn something from me, that would be great. I was fortunate enough to play a lot of great artists, and actually, I stayed with one of my teachers a long time. But the when I see him every day, every week, it kind of wears out a little bit. So when I hear with the master classes with great artists, actually it stays longer, like lifetime long sometimes. So hopefully, something I talk about can inspire you in different ways. One thing, you are a very expressive person, Kyung-ah, but for me, is the playing performing is a performing art, so we're talking about stories, especially like romantic music. It's a little different, impressionistic music, but this is a very hard of romantic. Mendelssohn, everybody knows Rondo Capriccioso. So we're talking about this story, but you can have many different storytellers. But the ones usually attracts me most is the sound that um, if I hear different singers, the one has the voice that colors that I like more, attracts me more than the other one. So if we're talking about some sound projections, uh, making sound is more of using our weight, and it shouldn't be ever forced. Does that make sense? Have you heard something like this before? So when you are uh, playing the piano, there is a key, and then we're trying to create the sound by putting weight rather than pushing. So if I hear sound that's pushed a little bit, it kind of push me away. But when I hear the sound the instrument projects, naturally that actually draws me more into the performance. Let me see, I just can see Kyung-ah. Let's try to. Yeah, so at the beginning, your phrasing was very, very nice. But when you hear these repeated note of eighth note on, see whether you can make naturally speaking. Yeah, so when I hear it, and it kind of bounce back. So that's a little different than planting it. Does that make sense to you? See whether after you play first chord, feel the key and then let key bounce you off. So with that momentum you're creating, coming back down again. You want to try it? So when you push down the key, it's not pushing down, you're putting the weight, and the weight is bouncing you back up and down. So natural momentum is something similar, but you have to, and here what you want to be careful is when teachers say be relaxed, you don't want to collapse the hand, you still want to have standing. So what I'm saying is something that you can think about walking. So if I stand up and have my foot on the ground, I can bounce back this way. But if I collapse my joint, I won't be able to stand up. So that's what I'm saying. If you have your fingers there, you will still have certain enough support so you don't collapse the hand. So you will have some support to create sound, but it kind of bounces you back. Can you kind of, yeah, but make sure your fingertip is still on the key so it kind of help you to control the key going up and down. So most of your weight is projected here, putting down, but you still have some supporting ground to it. So make, yeah, that's a little too much. So okay, put down your chord. Can you put down? Yeah. Can I hear it? Yeah. So there is difference when you push down, then it will push you up rather than put down your weight. Okay, it's hard to see your hand, but that's something you can think about. In every key, there is a sound point, and we're trying to work around with that so it has some cushions that bouncing momentum is in there. So if you go down all the way down to the bottom of the key, the sound is usually harsher. Okay, so here, with saying that, I want you to create a little more natural crescendo and when there's a crescendo and there's natural setback, and then you want to, and I see that chord. I want you to hear clearly on that chord because I didn't hear the chord quality that part. Do you want to try first three measures just once? Yeah, so the third beat chord, what is that chord? Okay, that's better. So the third beat chord is this, and they chain 5/7 chord, and then you don't have to know the name, but enjoy the color. Can you play this chord without repeating? And sometimes it helps if you just try to hear next chord and so when there's many repeated notes, sometimes it kind of tricks us, like get confusing. So play the chord by itself. There's how many chords in the third measure? The first beat has this chord and 5, and second beat change to that chord, and then it comes back. So this is same chord. So you are only away from the same chord of the second beat. So make sure you come back to the right one. Can you try that, okay? Let's try, Kyunga, can we try measure 3? So you hear the chord progression clearly. Next one. Good. And third one. Yeah, I think you did it right. I couldn't quite hear the third one. Can you do it one more time? Good. Oh, do you have is it your score has a E natural? Yes. it resolve to next. Good, yeah. So make sure that put it in your ear, and if you enjoy, you won't forget. And if you really enjoy E and F sharps, crush, because that E and F sharp resolves on the fourth beat. Yeah. So if you enjoy it, it stays longer in your ear. Okay, and let's move on. So opening is very very romantic, expressive, and you did wonderful job. Can you try it going on from there? After that, it's the melody coming in, right? Can you go to from measure 4? Yeah, Kyung-ah, yeah, I like it, the way you express. One of the way, not just for you, for other people too. When you have these longer line and or accompaniment, the best, a lot of things we wear out when we practice a lot. It's not as moving to yourself after for a while practicing, right? So one of the way I do is just enjoy it a little faster. So sometimes leaving out and just try to hear block chord will help you. When you practice longer and slow phrases, it's very hard to communicate as the whole thing as one. And one of the best way of practicing is to do a little faster. So if once you hear or once you sing one long line in one breath, it's hard. It's easier for you to go back to slower tempo, and you can still hear longer line. Does that make sense to you? So that's one of the tip I will probably encourage a lot of you to do, because we face a lot of longer line, then we have to sustain it. And our pianist problem is it gets always disconnected. So one of the best ways is just go a little faster and feel the flow, and then stretch out. And then I think I wanted to talk to you about, you kind of did pretty well octave passage towards the end, but here I think when you do these, it was a little bit tight, right? That's a lot of people's problem. What you can do, what I usually make my student do in one note. So if you can control, then you will remember that feeling what you had. Yeah, you can do it octave lower because it's easier. Put your hand down on octave lower, just any octave, and see there's how many notes, like 16 notes. So 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So see that much, the measure 18, that much, and see whether your hand bounces back to you. Just in one, you don't have to play what's there. Just think of 1 2 3 4, like that's a half note. That's right. So your wrist wasn't responding very well. So all you do is just putting that in here, and after that you try to remember how you felt here. Okay, so you don't want to stub your wrist. And the next step you can do is use thumb, because the thumb will guide you where you're going. Okay, you want to try just and then keep the same feeling, but close the hand with just thumb. Try. Yeah, it's that's the challenge for June because I didn't hear the sound. I saw your head moving. You want to try one more time and think of the sound. The sound, if you hear sound is booming, like ringing, that means you probably doing correctly and relaxed. If your sound has some stopping, then that means you might have something that your weight is holding back. Try. Pretty good. When you do this much good, when you go from black note to the white note, it was a little bit stopping. Make sure almost resting feeling. That's good. Better. Yeah. What I make students do is when there's a big like a list sonata like big octave sections, or first thing I made my student do was using thumb only because when you start octaves and then when there's a note that you're not clear where you're going, that's where we freeze, and then you kind of teaching yourself wrong feelings. So use octaves passages, and you already know this pretty well. So just remind a couple times. It won't take more than a minute. Just remind yourself. It goes white to black note. When you go to white to black is the where you have to relax a little more. Yeah, and then after that, try your best to remember that feeling and transfer to octaves. When you play octaves, make sure to keep unlocking yourself. You don't have to make closed hand, but you just have to respond a little bit. So that could have been a little more fluent. So think about it, and hopefully it kind of help you develop more comfortable way. Piano playing has to be fun, but if there's difficult passages, it takes away fun part of it. So it should be always a way to make it comfortable. Okay, so that might be one of your presto was you practice pretty well, I think. But if you can find that sound that's lighter, it would be a lot more for you and for the listener. So try one more time, and can you imagine you're going just halfway down? Because if you were going down, it wasn't heavy, it wasn't bottom, but you were going more like the sound. Find the sound that's on top of the key. That's good. I think that's better than first time you played. It was lighter, right? So you have that in your ear already. Okay, you want to try one more time, and I think with your ability, I think you can try a little faster pulse. 1, 2, 3. You want to try that a little faster? So when you play first phrase, it was pretty light, and when you started going to second phrase, you're getting heavier. Why is it? You just get tense, or is it habit?
I think I try to express more like crescendo to
You're trying to express crescendo. I uh, I probably won't agree on that. I think you should keep it leggero, lightness. I don't think you need to get louder. Um, if so, I think it should be more soft. You, let me think. It's not developing repetition. Sometimes when we repeat things, you have to develop and shape it, but it's more fun. And I think you should keep it light, and then when you get to, for me, this is even softer. Yeah, I think you should keep it light and just enjoy the change of key. B major, A major. So if you hear clear distinction of 3 different keys, it's enough. I don't think you need to try to shape it a lot. You want to try keep it light. The whole character here is we feel it's like what can it be? Can you imagine something that's like bouncy and light? Something I can't think of anything, but it. I don't think it should have suddenly change the character. You want to try that one more time? That was good. That was a lot better. How did you feel? It was a lot more fun for me to listen to. Yeah. So I think that's the whole character because this piece is going on. You don't have to try to shape every single phrase. Towards the end, I wouldn't slow down. I think you should probably, it's more fun to just finish it off. Make it clear that you're aware of what's that. Where was the ending? Wait. These two, make sure it's lighter. Some more fun. That gets. If you're not clear, try the all the way out. But if it's heavy, it's not as fun. So lighter, and then this. The finishing. I don't think you should slow down. Can you start from here? Can you start on that measure and you want to just finish it off. You want to try it? Start on the go from G major. It's a measure 44. Uh-huh. So what you can so if you want to take time, just little space before you start next phrase. But I don't think you should slow down. Would it be possible to make it lighter? Very touch is fine. And then you might want to make that clearer, but this is finishing off. La la la, not la la la. Yum pom pom. Good. Yeah, I liked it much better. Yeah, I think you can think about it, but I think that the whole character, if you only think of one phrase, then that's where it comes to too much shaping. Sometimes you have to kind of look at it's like looking at the painting from far away. Look at the structure. So if you do too much in detail in one spot, that it kind of change the our focus because you want people to look at the whole picture as it is, not just one spot. And so make sure do not do too much shaping, but remember the character changes. But that I like it a lot better. I think you can do, and you did some melodies very well. I think there's not much time, so I'm going to wrap it up. So those two things can probably something that you can dwell on and think about. You did a wonderful thing on measure 155, E major going, and then when you change this, that change of dynamic change was great. Intention was heard, which is very important. For technically, if you want louder sound, usually we use more relaxed end, and then when you change it, when you softer sound, you have to make sure your fingertip is a little sharper. And I heard a little bit your intention, but it was not sharp enough. So that's why, even though it was soft enough, but it was not energetic enough. Does that make sense to you? You want to try measure 155, one last thing. So use more weight. Yeah, it's hard to listen. Yeah, that's right. Left hand you're doing, right hand. So you might want to practice having a little more fingertip. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I use a little bit of a rotation. That's right. Oh, the second, you're doing 161. When you do this, uh, your fingertip is almost like kicking off the. When you do this, just one finger. Try again. Yeah, I can't hear I can't hear anything. But the whole point is that you want your fingertip to just go top of the key and bounce it off. Yeah. So that means it has to be pretty firm. Yeah. So just remember, when you play louder, your finger actually is looser, and so you can get your weight down. And when you play softer, your fingertip has to be sharper. So what you heard it yourself, right? Your fingertip was not responding quick enough. So that's something you can work on. And you don't have to work on the whole passage, just work on the transition of it. But I think we should probably wrap it up. It is hard. Okay, but very pleasure to meet you, and you're responding wonderfully.
Thank you, Kyung-ha. And we have Alan here. So he just thought that he's in France, so he was confused about the time.
I'm very sorry. I thought it was 6 p.m. the start of the master class. So yeah, because it was not the same. It was Eastern or Central time, and so I mismatched the two. Okay.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, sorry for that.
And it's your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you pronounce your name? It's Alain.
Alain.
Alain. Okay.
Yeah. It's like Alan in English, but in French it's Alain.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to make me a sound testing?
Oh yes, can you please play a few notes?
Yeah. Okay. Let's say if you maybe you don't see the keyboard. Well, maybe I have to.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's not well. Let's say.
No, you look familiar. I think I might have judged you, right? Because I think
Yes, you
I might
do.
have judged you.
I will try to maybe to make this higher. Yes, because you don't see the keyboard. So just a while.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Is it ballad number 4? Cute.
Yes.
Also, all the videos are recorded in the same piano in the same room. It looks like, I'm saying, you look at all the recordings, you'll see that he's done. It's always it looks like the same piano in the same room.
Yeah. It's hard to forget, right? Because of that,
the mirror in the back. Yeah.
Right.
That would distract me. If I saw a mirror in the back, I would get distracted. I think when I was a kid, I played at one local competition where it was piano concerto, and there was a mirror, and it would reflect both pianos, and I could not look to the left, otherwise it would just mess me up. You know what I'm saying? It was. It was like you would see 2 mirrors, big mirrors, and it would be good for the people looking there. But for you, if you look to the left,
I see.
you could get all confused.
I think Alan has some issue, technical issue. He's
This is amazing, you. You're doing such a wonderful thing everywhere.
thank you.
He's
It's
trying
just
he's trying to get the focus on the case so you can see.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's better. Maybe.
Yes, it is much better.
So let's try just a sound testing and.
Yes. Yeah.
good.
You can hear perfectly.
Okay.
Want to do Polonaish fantasy? That's okay too. Either piece is fine. I love both. So
Okay.
whatever you feel like
So
to do.
today is ballad 4.
Mala number 4. Okay. Wonderful job. Wow. Yeah, this was really, really great. And what I like the most is your rubato is very natural, and you feel the music really well. The this piece can be overly played, and there can be sometimes I don't want to hear it when they don't really actually they're faking the rubatos, but your rubato is all in the right place, and structurally it's really working well too. So very, very minor things, because you already know what you want, and your story is very convincing to me. So thank you very much for playing, um, and even opening. All those rubato is good. I think it might be Zoom. Sometimes your melodic note doesn't have enough harmonic support, and I think it might be mic because I can feel that you're hearing the harmonic structure, but it doesn't carry through in the Zoom thing.
Ah, maybe, yeah.
Maybe, right? Because the underlying harmony was not enough for me sometimes. So it sounds like you didn't really pedal. But I had the same problem with my student when I teach through Zoom. Then they don't catch all the pedal.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think I'll get into that because obviously you cannot make those rubatos if you don't hear the harmony. So it's fine. How about the first thing? So when do you have measure numbers? Like, do you have
Yes.
your score? Yes. So what? Just little bothered me was when you play the main matchup, and this note inside the harmony was not soft enough for me. So melody is soft, it's already major voice, right? How light? So the control, because you're carrying this in one harm. So this is where first time I heard. I don't know. Do you hear these are catching in one harmony?
Yeah, maybe I didn't play the whole notes of the chords. Maybe.
Is it, or are you? So you're putting one pedal there, right?
Yes, yes, from there.
That's right. Yeah, but that's not what I heard. So I think it was maybe recording. The hard thing is that we want to make sure that's within one pedal. This is melody that has to penetrate. But has a lot more note, but has to be very soft. So that's always challenge that you need to have three layer of sound. Obviously melody has to be most, but you cannot play a lot of melody here to get the character. But then inside it, there's a lot more notes, but you have to still make sure a lot softer. I don't know whether you can hear me, but it has to be much softer control. That's better, but then your melodic tone got a little harsher, right? So you still want.
I didn't get. Sorry.
Yeah, so that was better in the relationship, but then your melodic tone got harsher. Yeah, so that's the hard part. You want to still make some melody more mellow, but at the same time your left hand has to be super soft. So to create that, you have good ears, so I think you can do it by listening also, but make sure your left hand has to be pretty firm and just go halfway. And you know, like I say, so what I feel is my right hand is going pretty deep to sing out, but this is going only halfway. And your hand has to be pretty fixed, otherwise it will not have control. You want to try and see, but if you can get first measure, then the rest is the same. That's better. Yeah. So I guess one thing I want to say is when you're trying to make it accompaniment really soft, in a way, the melody we will hear it. You have to pay a lot extra attention to hear those soft notes. Otherwise, it doesn't project the way exactly what you want. Yeah. But so you were kind of getting onto it. Another thing is that when can you the phrasing. I just like your rubato, but if you can feel a little more Thai tension, so when one, so I'm not sure sometimes is Thai getting intense for you? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
So while you're holding it, you have a bass note, but still focus a little more. You're projecting that note, even though you don't do anything with the right hand, you're just holding. But in your mind, that might have even more expressiveness. Try out. So Alan, I have questions. So when I mentioned about it, actually became a little accented. So when you do so is the C, the after the Thai note, is it louder than the ones coming out of the Thai note, or softer? Huh?
Normally I play it softer. Yeah.
Yeah, because the sound decays even though you feel intent. So it's a very delicate thing, but you have to imagine what direction you're shaping, because otherwise it became accent sometimes. Let's try it once more. You did really well. Not the part I talked about. So that's maybe I should stop talking. Wait, why does it sound a bit accent? So do you hear? Do you hear kind of resolving, maybe in a way to F minor, right? So just be careful because that note. That was better. That was better. In a lot of my teaching experience, I think it ended up, because I can explain many different ways to confuse everyone, but then in the end, it's your ear. So trust your ear and work on that. That worked. That worked for me. Yeah. So you can continue developing that. That's a lot of times people ignore. Whenever they're Thai, sometimes we get we relax our ears so we don't listen to those. So be careful on that. So the voicing was the one of the few things I want to talk about. Your rubato of measure 21, you can listen to yourself again, was beautiful. It was one of the beautiful moments you did. It was very, very good. And then your trend episode was very good too. I guess this part. It's hard to make it really smooth. You want to try measure 38, pick up the measure 30 and make it as smooth as you can, because it's just in between your variations, right? So make it as fantasy like, more dreamy. Try. That's good. You want to try just slightly faster and make see whether your these roost is not stopping you. If you're just going through the right hand too, because I hear a little bit. I want to hear a little bit more of top. So sometimes you kind of sound wasn't bad, but this will be more natural for you to have. That was beautiful. That was a lot more fluent, and that rubato, um, that you changed the key. That was it worked well. When it was slightly slower, like kind of pacing was not moving, that it didn't work. So that was really good. One, if you look at yourself, this again, there was what you did was little hop. So G, again, that longer phrase T. Don't forget its continuation.
Yes.
That longer, that's where we kind of forget that we have to keep listening to that. That was good. Yeah, that was very good. If I give you one tip, when you have longer note value, so you quarter note, you do this circular motion, and this is a three long beats, three dotted half, dotted quarter beats. If you can move your arm circular and then come back, it will get rid of a little abruptness of your, because you have to prepare it in such a way, then it's coming back.
Could you show me again? Because I'm...
So when you do and you feel the rhythm here,
Yeah.
then it's continuous. But if you stop your hand and
Okay.
strike, that's where the abruptness happens. So just keep conducting with your arm. That will help your longer line. Good, yeah. So so you already know this. I think the reason that you respond so quickly is because you already knew. You just forgot to do it, right? And that is what's all good. I guess I would say measure 71.
Yes.
Uh, the transition, do you feel really, really loud all the way?
Yeah, I play it too loudly.
Oh, I think that forte, Simo, I agree. So, and I think I'll come back down a little bit.
Ah,
72. Do you want to make it a little lighter so that way
yeah.
when yeah.
You mean this?
Yeah, because you want to keep building up. So if you are still 47, it's kind of hard. Yeah, so that way you can pick it up and get faster. That was good. Yeah. So that's it felt heavy when you first played. Just now was a lot better. So just think of that whole shaping. You want that to be in the one whole idea, and then return it to work better. This part, the background, I felt your high note is a little abrupt. If you can, you play so many Chopin because I remember in the competition you play Chopin too. I think there's a bunch of so you're very aware of Chopin's style. Did you play Barcarolle too?
No, never Barcarolle.
Yeah. So Barcaro is like that swing is very common for him and all the preludes. So don't go for the high note. Make sure it's circular. So it's more 3-1, 3-1, 3-1 that creates those swing feeling. Great. Great. That was good. And then can you go on that Dolce section? Alan. So, for me, a little more top would be more the character wise, because I hear more high voice like beautiful woman. La la da, da. So if it's a little too similar, make sure inside the voice is lighter because there's so many other notes, so it's kind of got too similar. So if you can like go bottom note, more floating, and one of the way can be you can practice top first, and so you hear the color of inside note differently in your ear. That's good. Yeah. So I like your B flat major, and then when G minor was a little darker to me. Still, I need your the voices more, yeah, sharper. Yeah. You want to try one more time?
Okay.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So that's good. Yes. When I hear this piece, that part is a little more feminine. That's why I'm trying to bring you. And we want something feminine. I think it needs a little sharper finger there. But you're hearing wonderfully. That since there's time, I think that's major 1 or 2 can. Yeah, you can perhaps practice a little slow. This is difficult part. It was a little bit, little more control would be good. That's you play a lot better just now. Than
Yeah.
what- so now, yeah. So you know
I'm
what to do.
sure the coda would be better too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I have nothing to say. That was really good, and the pedal change was really good too. Because I heard it a little messy and heavier, but you lighten the pedal. So no, yeah, I don't have to go on to that. If you can make 121, the contrapuntal part, if you can the bass like left hand a little more warmer, yeah, like a cello. Yeah. So here I want you to think about, because we already I don't want to hold everybody and I have to go there. I have to set up this side soon. So but when there's a three layer of sound, if you can really hear transparently, that's good. That would be good. So in this case, I think inner voices really have to be lighter. Because right now it gets a little thick in texture. So if texture is transparent, means that we hear all three different tones. Yeah. So left hand, what I mean cello like, I don't mean you to be heavier, but smoother. Yeah. So it has its own character of more legato sound. And right hand, it can be even detached over of this because it doesn't have to actually try to make a legato because it has to be a lot thinner. And then top voice just voice out more. You want to try it so you can hear three different layers. That was a lot better. Did you hear it? It was a lot better. I could hear all three voices. Yeah, you just so you know what to do. That's really wonderful. You can do it right away. It's yeah, I really liked it, and thank you for making that climax so beautiful. Like 179, 180 was, yeah. That's why usually people play this piece, and you made it really, really good. So I really like. I have one question mark. I guess stretto was not naturally growing. 198.
Yes, because I made a memory.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can fix that
Yeah, it's not,
easily. Yeah. That's great. That's wonderful. That's really good. And one other thing I want you to think about is the before forte. So these, I guess it's a continuous same thing. That has to be more heavenly. I need your voicing to be a little better, and but you set the mood well. But at the rest, how are you trying to say? What are you trying to say there? Before the coda start, what do you try to say? What's that rest mean to you?
Maybe the end of a dream, or end of a dream, and then the agitato and the say,
That's
tones.
good. Yeah. So this is more dream.
Yeah,
It's
that's
and like a bell.
exactly.
So it's a long. So dream has
Like
to
C
finish.
major, it's a dream, and then F
And
minor.
then you have to go. So what happened was you kind of stop and gave audience stop the dream instead of that dream has to evolve into something. And breathe right before. And yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is you have 4 bits. So you're counting each measure is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I want you to have breathing on 4 speed so it goes into the coda. Two, three. Breathe in and exhale on the right. Yeah. So it's usually music is momentum. So if you breathe in, you can explode out, and that's how you should feel, kind of. And that's how I will. But thank you so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed. Good to hear nice Chopin F minor in the morning. Before start a long day. Yeah, that's very nice meeting
Thank
you.
you very
And
much.
finally meet you because I really enjoyed your competition video as well.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. I was playing a Scherzo 2, I think, if I remember. Scherzo from the last time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Saturday morning, you wanted, I mean, Alan is not, but we all wanted to kind of, lazy and Saturday morning, but after 1 week of, work, and thank you so much for spending time with Dr. Hong and us. And I have to make an announcement because there's the different new incoming president of this organization. So I don't know what the new president is going to do with this competition and everything, because this is just basically all up to each, president. And this is what I have been creating. And I don't know whether the new incoming president is going to take over everything that I have been doing. So I'm going to help her to organize and everything, but there's some chance that we might not continue this to, I mean, that's, too sad, but what I can say is I might be able to find something else beside this WPTA and continue this amateur competition. And because my dream, I shouldn't say dream, but my goal, I don't know what that is, but whatever that is, dream or goal, whatever, I wanted to continue this having amateur music lover community. And I think it's very important for classical music because basically, classical music is kind of dying away. And I think these supports like from amateurs are also very important because you are the one goes to concert and you're the one buy all, the recordings and everything. And you're the one giving the energy for the, all these music business and everything. So I want to continue this, but I might need some help and advice on how, on
Thank you.
that. So
I'm really always impressed what you're doing, and these people like I'm impressed. In the Saturday morning, I wasn't expecting anyone. There's so many. I was thinking of like I want to join your group.
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know why you call amateur. It doesn't matter. It's a music lover group. So
Mm,
why the amateur name I don't agree with, because I mean they are not amateurs. I've heard, and I think Sing Up, I heard you're playing as well in the other masterclass too. Yeah, you guys are not amateur. I don't think you should join a music lovers group, and I would be first one to join actually.
Oh, thank you. Thank
And
you.
any help you need, I mean, I'll be happy to. It's very impressive, and I want a lot more people to know about this.
Mm,
That you have this very solid group.
good. Oh, thank you.
These people, I saw it before too, so
I
I'm very
see.
impressed actually.
Oh, that's great. That's going to be a great support. So I'll include Dr. Hong, and probably I will send all of you to email about my new project and things like that. Yeah, because I need some connections as well. Right now I have this organization behind me, but then if I just want to run this competition or masterclass series or whatever, it's really difficult for me to just run all by myself. So yeah, I will just contact soon. I don't know when, but I'll try to do my best, but probably in October, I will contact you and ask you your opinions and advice and things like that. So whatever happens with the WPTA, I will try to keep this competition and the a masterclass series. And I will think about the name amateur.
They are not.
Okay, so before we go, can we have all together have a screenshot so that we can remember and everything? So
Oh yeah, I would love to, and please send to me.
sure. Okay, so I'm gonna have count 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. So I'll contact
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank
Great
you. Bye.
job, both of you.